Hi, College and Career Success. Welcome to Fall 2020. I am Dr. Linda Remark, and I wanted to start off the semester with an intro video and just making sure that you are comfortable with how the course is going to run, and then ease you into week 1, so that you know what to expect from this first week. So first, you are in just a first 8-week course, which means that we essentially have taken a 16-week course and condensed it down into 8 weeks, which is why you're going to see most weeks have multiple assignments. There's a lot going on whenever we cut a 16-week down to 8 weeks, but the benefit then obviously is you get it done a little bit quicker. So the first thing you're going to want to do if you're watching this video based on a link I sent in your email is make sure that your Succeeding Online orientation is completed. If that's not completed, you're not going to be able to access our course yet. It's basically just a 6-module orientation that's going to walk you through how to utilize Blackboard if you've never taken an online course or used Blackboard before at our institution. After you have done that, you'll be able to access our course. Whenever you get in, you're always going to be at the Start Here section. It's going to give you a quick overview and then an introduction to myself so you know a little bit about me, and then you'll see a bunch of resources down here that you may be able to utilize. The one that you're probably going to pay the most attention to is right here, the syllabi and assignments. So for you, you'll just see the first two. A lot of my page you'll see is going to be grayed out because it's things that maybe I just need as an instructor. So you will see just the things right here. The master syllabus is just a real general blanket syllabus that's going to tell you about the course, how many credits it's worth, how many objectives it's meeting. But then the more specific to our particular section is the Fall 2020 course, and it'll open up into our syllabus here. Okay, so you're going to see again, this is Fall 2020. We are just the first 8 weeks, so we are done October 23rd. So that's kind of a nice thought to be done halfway through that semester. Here is my information. Again, I'm Dr. Linda Remark. I am on main campus in E244 Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays in between my face-to-face classes, and then Thursdays I am available online. Now, I am answering and grading and checking emails at all times of the day. However, these are the times that you can expect to get me in real time, so to speak. So if you wanted to contact me on Thursdays between those hours, that's when I would be able to schedule like a Zoom session or collaborate or anything like that for certain. Any other time, you might have to wait, half an hour or whatever the case is for a response from me via email. I try to respond very quickly. So there's my information, my extension, my email address. We're going to talk about your textbook. We do have a physical textbook for this class, even though we're all online. Here's the name of the textbook. So you can order it online, pick it up on main campus, pick it up on Akron campus. I think you can have it even shipped to you. If you want to call the bookstore, they are trying like an access, like a digital access. I don't have that information yet, but I know they were working on transitioning to get that since so many students are taking this course all online now, especially with COVID. So if you wanted to call and specifically read this information off to them to see if they have the online access, you are welcome to do that. Until you have access to your book, I do scan the introduction and chapter 1 so that you have access to the first couple weeks so you're not behind while you're trying to get to that book. All right, methods of assessment. So there are 7 chapters plus the introduction. So really there are 8 kind of content areas. So that's why you're going to have 8 assignments to complete, which works out nicely since it's an 8-week course. And you'll see each of those in the individual chapters. Everything you do will have to be submitted electronically, obviously, since we are a web course. So anything is going to be put in Blackboard or an email attachment. For every chapter and the introduction, there's a discussion prompt, which means there are 8 of these as well, 1 per week. You will have to put your original response by Wednesdays for week attendance. So you'll have a prompt. You need to respond to it in at least 250 words. If you are greatly underneath that, you will not get full credit for that response because attendance and the discussion post have separate grades. Posting it by Wednesday gets you attendance points, but then posting it and responding to classmates gets you the assignment points. So by Wednesdays for attendance, and then you need to respond to 2 classmates by Sundays, and that'll get you full credit. And you can see there's kind of a breakdown. Your original was worth 7 points, then responding to classmates is 3 points. Posting on time by Wednesdays, you get full credit for attendance. Late posts will receive partial points. Each week, you'll also have a college resource, so like the Writing Center, Student Life and Recreation, Digital Library, whatever the case is. Either it's through a video or some links, and then you're going to reflect on it, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about that here below in a couple of minutes. You're also going to have a quiz from each chapter, so 7 quizzes. Each quiz will be 7 to 10 questions, short answer format, which means you need to write in 2 to 5 complete sentences. And I'm going to be a stickler about that because we're online and you can have access to your textbook. You can have access to my slides. And so you really do need to make sure that you're answering in complete sentences, not just a couple words. So make sure that you are kind of tying in, personal examples, text examples to complete those assignments. There is a final project that I will start uploading videos for in around week 4, so you have half of our course to complete it. But the good news is the directions are in this syllabus, so you technically have them day 1 if you wanted to start looking at it. And then you'll also have a 30-point career point assignment that I'll describe the week that we get to that. And then there's under here, there's going to be a breakdown of different points. So there's our grading scale. Here's the class policies. Kind of again, it goes over attendance posts are due by Wednesdays, and then everything else is due by Sunday. There might be some extra credit. Just check your email, check their announcements. Can you make up points? Unfortunately, it's like if you miss a week of class. If you don't come to class, you can't make up those attendance points. So you can't get attendance points back, but even posting late can at least get you partial attendance. Case-by-case basis, I may allow you to make up an assignment. Just keep in mind that once a Dropbox closes, it can't be submitted without my permission. There is a textbook, so you need to kind of pick that up or have it delivered or ordered and talk to the college store about that. All assignments are submitted electronically, and then we'll talk about the college resource reflection and your final project here shortly, and just kind of take a look over those. Here is some information about course materials and withdrawal dates. We're an 8-week course, which means the last day to withdraw is October 5th. All right, under there is our course calendar, and I have done my best to outline it. You can see based on the week and then what is being covered each week. And then these are the assignments that you'll be doing. You'll see most weeks have 4, sometimes 5 assignments. So that's why I say we're an 8-week course. Things get condensed, and there's a lot to do each week. But I made sure, if you have a discussion forum, when is that due? And then when are individual assignments due? By those Sundays. So just please make sure you're checking that, make sure you're paying attention to that syllabus. I'll also put that information in your announcements, individual videos, and emails. So that's your syllabus. And notice we end on a Friday that last week. All right, underneath here, this is a more intricate breakdown of the scoring, how much everything is worth in this particular class, so you can know the names of the assignments and how much they are worth. And here's that college resource reflection I mentioned. So let's say we watch a video or click links on the digital library. You're not going to summarize to me what the digital library is. I know what it is. I know these resources. You're going to tell me what you learned. What did you gain? How could you use it? What questions do you have? What questions were answered? How does it relate to you? So it's just really a summary of that reflection, or maybe you've used of that resource rather. Maybe you've used this resource and you can tell me about your experience with it. All right, and then finally your final project. As I mentioned, we're not going to really talk about this in depth until week 4, but hey, here it is. Day 1, you can have access to it. It's going to be in the form of a PowerPoint based on your career path. So you can take a look. There's the directions, and then here is the rubric that I use to grade. So that is our syllabus. And again, I encourage you to spend some time looking it over, becoming familiar with it. All right, so back at the Start Here section, again, there's resources down here that you can use as needed. I'm going to skip the lesson section for now. I'm going to go here. Course messages. So I will send out course messages. Anything I put in a course message, I'll also send out via email and announcement. I may also use this to contact you individually. So please check your course messages. Whenever you want to contact me through here, you just go into Create Message, click on To, find my name, and click it over. Write your subject and your content and hit submit. As I said, anything I put in a group message, I will also put in the announcements, and you can see I already have week 1 announcements loaded in here. So eventually you will also see those in your course messages. So I will always put those there for you to see. Then you have a My Grades tab, so you can constantly keep up with what is going on with your grades so that you know where you stand at all times. Also on the left-hand side, we have some different resources. So if you need the help desk, the digital library, Blackboard help, those are all right there. All right, now I'm going to get into the lessons tab because this is where you're going to spend most of your time. Now, again, you'll see on my screen, a lot of this is grayed out. I've already worked and set all of this up, but you're not going to see anything except for week 1 whenever you log in, and that's going to open up August 31st, and you can see the week 1 ends September 6th. All of these weeks are set up similarly, so that's the nice thing. So you'll click into whatever week we're in, and you'll see a quick overview. So week 1, we're in the introduction. So it's just the very beginning of the textbook, and I will get those pages scanned and uploaded so that if you don't have your book yet, you can at least have access to those. So it's going to go over the overview, the items that you'll need, the assignments, and when they're due. That's what all the weeks will have right there, and then underneath, you're going to have the materials and the assignment folders. So when you click on materials, it's just what it sounds like. It's what you're going to need to be successful for this particular week. So it's usually the outcomes and then the slides. If there's any other links that you might need, those will be in there as well. And I'm going to get to the slides here in a few minutes because we're going to talk about the introduction. And then typically all of your assignments will be in the assignment folder. You'll see there's 2 of them up here, because those are unique to the beginning of the semester and all students have to complete those. But you'll click in the assignment folder, and that's where most of your other assignments will be found. And you'll see there the scanned pages. Look at that, I already had it in there. So your strategies at a glance, scanned pages. So if you click on that, this is kind of a preview of the 7 strategies at a glance because it's what you need to complete for one of the first assignments. So it's there for you already. All right, so let's take a look at week 1, particularly our materials. I'm going to open up the chapter slides, and we're just going to talk about them for a few minutes. These are pages 3 through 11 in your actual physical textbook. Again, I'm going to try to get those pages uploaded so that you have access to them if you need them. All right, so your textbook will go over how to have a strong start into college. Like, what are the expectations? What are some things you need to know or do to be able to have a successful start to your college experience, whether this is your very first semester, or maybe you've taken some time off, or maybe you're a CCP student. It'll also talk about the syllabus, which I just got done going over. What is important for you to know? Like, why do you need the syllabus? What should you be doing with it? Writing down the due dates, making sure you know the expectations, what you're going to learn. Also, the importance of your resources. That's why I'm going to be giving you college resources every week so that you know the kind of tools and really what you're paying for also with all these extra resources. Making sure that you know how to utilize them and who to contact. The value of a first-year seminar course, so that's what basically you're taking right now. Research has found over the last several years that students who take these classes have better grades, they're going to be more participating in class, they're going to be more critical thinking, they're more likely to graduate on schedule and have higher academic attainment. Now, if you are an undergrad in a 2 or 4 year institution, you really don't have a choice in most cases. This has become pretty nationwide that you are taking like a first year type course, but there are benefits to it. And then the last 2 slides, the last little bit of the introduction talks about these 10 different myths or facts. And so I encourage you to kind of look at those 5 on each slide and look, what do you think? Do you think it's a myth? Do you think it's a fact? And then our introduction will talk about what is a myth, what is a fact, and why. So that's the slides. Like I said, our first week is just the introduction, getting us used to our text. And again, that's found pages 3 through 11 in your physical textbook, and I'll upload those exact pages shortly. All right, here's what you're completing then this week. You'll see you have 4 assignments. Syllabus quiz and Title IX quiz are located right below here. Right here they are. And in both of these, they're basically like a talking PowerPoint. So you click on it, it's going to open up into a new screen. I'm going to have to mute it real quick. Pause it. And it's going to talk to you, and you're just going to hit next, click next, next, and it's going to ask you some questions. And that's going to be very similar to the syllabus quiz. Same thing, it's going to open up, pop into a new window, walk you through some questions. You're going to click on your answers. Both of those are automatically graded assignments. I do not see that you have completed them until they transfer over into the gradebook. So just make sure that those actually transfer over and you've completed the full assignment. Now, the other two assignments right here are in the assignment folder. So I'm going to click in there, and you can see here is my required assignment. It says preview the text by reading the 7 success strategies at a glance. Right here. I already scanned those pages for you. Right there. Identify 3 strategies that you would like to learn more about and can go to that section of the text. Read those sections and write a brief summary. So let's just open this up. Here's what it's talking about. You're going to look at right here. So let's say that in chapter 1, you feel like you struggle with using scholarly sources. So that can be one of your 3 that you're going to talk about. Remember, it says, I know I'm going to do some toggling around here. It says identify 3 strategies you would like to learn more about and why. So maybe there's a strategy in chapter 1, maybe there's a strategy in chapter 4, and there's a strategy in chapter 7. What are those strategies or tips, and what could you do? How could you benefit? Why do you struggle? So again, we're looking at through the strategies at a glance and see, okay, which of these do I think I need to work on or learn more about? If you have your actual textbook, then you can go to that actual section of the textbook and look at it and kind of talk to me about those key points. You know, what is the key points? What could you benefit from the, learning more about those particular things? So when you're ready to submit, you'll click in there, and you can type it in a Word document. And after you've typed it in a Word document, browse your computer and find it and hit open and then submit. Or you can go to write submission and you can click right in there and type it. You're writing about 1 to 2 paragraphs. Okay? So that's for the 7 success strategies. Okay? The next thing you're doing in here is the introduction discussion forum. So every single discussion forum is 250 words or more. If you're like at 240, I'm not going to really count off. But if you're like at 150, you've missed the mark a lot. So you're not going to get full points for that. So that's why I always recommend to students type it in like a Word document first so it can count your words, and then copy and paste it so you know what your words are. So here's the thread. Here's the prompt. Introduce yourself. Pretty simple, right? Share 3 things. A time when you were proud of an accomplishment, an interest or hobby, and 1 goal. After you put your original post, remember for attendance, it's by Wednesday, you're going to respond to 2 classmates by Sunday night. Here's how you post. You'll click on the forum, and then you can see I left these ones in here just to show you kind of how to respond, but you'll go to create thread. The prompt will show up again. You'll put your subject, and then you'll either type in here or you'll paste your response from a Word document. And then you'll hit submit. Once you've hit submit, you'll be able to see what everyone else has done. You go to click in, you read someone else's response, and then you hit reply. And you have to respond to 2 classmates by Sunday at 11:55 p.m. And by respond, it's not just, hi, nice to meet you. Just like a sentence or 2. Make sure you're actually interacting, because we're online. It takes the place of kind of that class interaction. Okay, so that's your first week. Look at the syllabus, be familiar with it, click around a Blackboard, make sure you know what's going on. And then you have 4 assignments: syllabus quiz, Title IX, those 2 are right there, 7 success strategies, which you are typing, and then your discussion, which are in the assignment folder. Everything is due by Sunday, except for your original response. That's always going to be due on a Wednesday, and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. So I hope this video kind of helps with what you're doing and expectations. Please reach out if you need anything, and have a great first week.